Okay, class 6 water chapter is going on. So in my previous video I told you about the distribution of water. Today I am going to talk you the importance and uses of water. Although in my previous video I told you about the uses of water, today the specific importance of water for living organism that I am going to discuss. Okay, living organism include animal, humans, plants, everything. So first of all, for our living purpose, water is very much necessary. So how does it help us to survive? That is written point wise. So water regulates the body temperature. Our body temperature, it should have a fixed or a range of temperature in which it should belong. Otherwise, we may fall ill. So water regulates our body temperature, not only of animals, human beings, but also of plants. How does it regulate the body temperature? In case of human being and animals, by the process of sweating, it regulates the body temperature. In case of plants, by the process of transpiration, it regulates the body temperature. So the point is, it regulates the body temperature. If you get a question, how does it regulates the body temperature? So the answer is, water regulates the body temperature by the process of sweating or transpiration. Okay. Next point, water helps in the transportation of minerals and gases inside the bodies. During digestion, minerals dissolved in water can travel from one part of your body to another part. Even the digested food which is in the liquid form, so how it is in the liquid form, it can be dissolved in water, so it is in the liquid form. That can be transported from one part of the body to another part. Otherwise, each and every part will not be active. So that is possible due to the presence of water in our body. Water helps the minerals and gases to be transported inside the body. Even in case of plants, as the roots take in water from the soil, so along with water, minerals dissolved in the water also reaches to various parts of the plant. Third point, water provides a medium for all biochemical reactions inside the body. Biochemical reactions are occurring always inside the living organism. Digestion involves biochemical process. Then before excretion also biochemical process, many biochemical process occurs inside the body. Photosynthesis, respiration, all these are biochemical reactions. Biochemical reaction include hormones also. So water provide a medium. It provide a medium in which the reaction can occur properly. Then water is one of the main component of photosynthesis. We know it. In case of plants are the only living organism which can prepare their own food. How they prepare their food? They take in carbon dioxide from the air and they take water from the soil with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll. Plant can prepare their own food, and that process is known as photosynthesis. So without water, photosynthesis is not possible. Without water, plant cannot survive, they cannot make their own food, and all other living organisms other than plants, they either directly or indirectly depend upon plants to get their food. So ultimately, if there would be no photosynthesis, no living organism can survive on this earth. So it is very much essential. So you can understand that how much essential water is for the survival of all the living organisms. So I am repeating the point. Water is one of the major component of photosynthesis. All other living beings depend upon plants to get their food. These are the importance of water for living organism for their survival. Other than this, uses of water, that also you have to learn, that I am not going to write here. So uses of water include cleaning purposes, uses of water for all kind of cleaning, washing clothes, cleaning utensils, These are the purposes. For cooking purposes, water is very much needed. Industrial purposes, for the production of electricity. Nowadays, hydroelectric power station you can find in many places, and that production of power, that is electricity, is pollution free. Where hydroelectric power station is there, you cannot find any pollution. On the other hand, electricity can be produced using coal also, but coal burning of coal produces lots of poisonous gases, that is not good for the environment. Second thing, coal is such kind of resource which will one day it will be exhausted, that is it is non-renewable resources. But water, it is renewable resource. Water is not going to be exhausted in any day. So water is very good raw material for preparation of electricity also. For making medicines, water is needed. For various kind of batteries, distilled water is used. Distilled water is having lots of uses. Distilled water means completely pure water without any dissolved mineral or anything, without any germs. Pure form of water that is prepared in lab is known as distilled water. So distilled water has wide range of application in medical purposes, in physics for making cells, batteries, in chemical laboratory, everywhere the uses of water. So it is uncountable. I just am saying some of the example. You can also say some of the example by your own. So today's topic is importance and uses of water. So I am going to complete my topic. But before leaving, I want to give you some inner questions. I am going to write down those inner questions here. I will not give you the answers. These questions you have to do by yourself. These answers you have to write by yourselves. And keep it in your copy. No need to send anywhere. These are for your practice. These are for your learning. So I am not giving you that these are homework, do it, send it in time. But I just want to inculcate the habit of creating questions by your own, inner questions and answers. At this age, maybe it is not possible for you to create questions, but if I give you the question, inculcate the habit of writing the answers of those questions by your own. Just open the book, find out the answers, or listen to me, find out the answers and try to write down those things. If you are in the habit of writing these short questions, notes from now, it will help you later. Okay? So these are the questions that you have to do. First question is what is water table? In your book this word came across many times. So you have to say what is water table. This definition you may not get in book properly. So I am saying the definition, you have to listen and you have to write down by your own. Because if in the class I used to dictate, that time also you were supposed to write by your own. So now also I will dictate and you have to write, or you can pause the video to write. What is water table? It is the uppermost surface of the groundwater, uppermost level of the groundwater. Anything you can write. Uppermost level of the groundwater where soil and rocks are permanently saturated with the water. Again I am repeating. It is the uppermost level of groundwater where the soil and rocks are permanently saturated with the water. This is the definition. What does this mean? If you are going to dig the soil, the level below the soil from where the water is available, from where the water is available, that means you can find clear water. That is your water table, uppermost layer of that portion. Water is present below that also, but the uppermost layer of the groundwater from the soil. So this answer I am saying, I will not discuss other answers. I may discuss, but I will not say the answers in this way. Number 2, what percentage of Earth's water is available for us to be used? It is there in your book, so find it out. What percentage of Earth's water is available for us to be used? Number 3, how does the flowing water is used to generate electricity? In your book, various points are there where uses of water is written. So you find out in the uses of water, how does the flowing water is used to generate electricity. It is there, so you can find it out. Number 4, what is the amount of water made by the human being for drinking? Needed by the human being to drinking. That means in a day how much water we need to drink. So what is the amount that you should write? It is also there in your book. Try to find out, you will find. So only I told the answer of this question. These 3 you have to write by your own, and this answer also you have to write. Just write down in your copy. No need to send it anywhere. And another thing I want to say, that your next exam will be in the month of January, not in December. So you don't have to be in panic. Your syllabus will be completed in time smoothly. So just try to get it in your mind that your next exam will be in the month of January. So for today it is enough. Read the chapter line by line thoroughly. It will help you to understand. So for today, thank you.